So, we need to talk about the new Taylor Swift album. Did you go boss too close to the sun?
The Death of a Showgirl, The Life of a Capitalist. That's what I think this album honestly should be called.
Oh, that time I sat alone in my tower, you were just honing your powers, now I can see it all. See it all. This is the only song I like, by the way. Before the Swifties come for me, I want to establish my credentials. I've been a very, very long-term Taylor Swift fan, probably years. I will also say I still know the lyrics to All Too Well, the 10-minute version, so I'm basically one of you. Which is why I say with my whole chest that this might be her worst album yet. But in saying that, not the worst album on earth. Don't get it confused. I still like some of the songs that are coming from The Life of a Showgirl. We should be able to love someone and still admit when they miss the mark. I feel like that's what real fans do, and we're not a cult. Again, full disclosure, I am more of a casual Swiftie fan these days, so I had no idea that she was beefing with Charli XCX until my cousin told me, and the beef low-key makes no sense. So I am going to pretend to you like I actually understand what the beef is about, and I didn't just Google it 5 seconds ago again just to make sure that I got the right information. Essentially, Charli XCX and her husband, I want to say George Michael, but I don't think that's right, is in the band with this guy called Matty Healy, who is the lead singer, and the band is 1975. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. So essentially Charli XCX's now husband was a band member, and Taylor Swift at the time, at some time in her life, was dating Matty Healy, the lead singer of this band. Charli XCX has a single called Sympathy is a Knife, where she basically says, hey, I am so jealous of you because we're both backstage, but you're like so much more influential than me, you're like so much more better than me, I'm so jealous of your success, I'm so jealous of you as a person. Which, if that was a diss track that was made about me, I would personally I would go up to there and shake their hands for writing such a beautiful poetry. Honestly, that sounds more like a love song than it does a diss, but that's not how Taylor Swift took it, apparently. I know that was a really poor explanation of the beef, but I mean, go do some Google it, bro. I can't be bothered telling you this shit. Have you ever witnessed something so awkward that you can't stop it from replaying in your mind? Like when you go and say hello to a person, but they kind of forget, or they kind of ignore your hello because they didn't hear it, but you didn't know that, so now you're like, okay, fuck me, I guess. I spent all of today well, that's a lie. So I spent all of yesterday doing what any rational person would do. Went through every song from The Life of a Showgirl and made some notes. I'm confused. We just had arguably probably one of her best albums in the last decade. Folklore, Evermore, but even Midnight's had its moments. Personally, I just want to say that, again, we know that she's a human being and she's very prideful in the fact that she writes her own words. Debatable, but this album does sound quite AI generated, and we'll delve deeper into it, but just hear me out. For me, look, there are some bangers, okay, and I would be lying to you if I sat here and told you I didn't like any of her songs in this playlist, in this album, because she does write catchy songs pretty well, and I think we can give her that. As someone who's in her 20s, I know I don't look at it, I know I look old. Here's what kind of shocks me. She is a billionaire. Some would say that's their favorite comfort billionaire, which is a crazy sentence. I don't know if we can call her our modern Shakespeare, but if Taylor Swift is meant to be our modern Shakespeare, I think we are genuinely screwed. Like, generationally, we are screwed. And I know that she can do better. That's what hurts a lot, that she's written All Too Well, and I know that I keep going on about that, but she's also written The Archer, Champagne Problem. This is the same person who said, you kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath. So what happened? Did she lose her thesaurus? Now, I think it would be very disrespectful of us if we didn't actually acknowledge that she's got a lot of competition at the moment, okay? We've got people like Chaperone, Olivia Rodrigo, and Sabrina Carpenter, who she has collabed with in this album. This album, to me, and this is my personal take, I don't know if anyone else has thought this, but when I was talking to my cousins about this, I kind of said like, hey, this album and the lyricism kind of sounds and suits someone more like Sabrina Carpenter, not Taylor Swift. And I couldn't describe it why, but I understand that maybe this album, it was her way of kind of keeping up with competition, right? I think we have to come back to the fact that these people are talking about their problems in their 20s, which Taylor Swift has written about in her 20s, 15s, however old she was when she started. Look, I think Taylor Swift's kind of strength has always been in the way that she's authentically writing about the problems that she's faced, and, you know, her detailed storytelling in her songs. And yes, sometimes you don't have to tell stories in your song. I know you can also kind of like, you don't have to always have storytelling in your songs. You know, you can make such amazing classics like, bitch, are you dumb, stupid? I feel like that'd be a violation if I kind of said, hey, this is an amazing song. But some of the lyrics genuinely made me experience what I could only describe as paralyzing secondhand embarrassment. There's one song where she rhymes cocky with... Okay. Let's just say she's talking about wood. Trees. Redwood trees. When I was listening to Wood, I was thinking, Taylor, your boyfriend's the one that's meant to have the brain damage, right? Because he's a professional athlete. Like, technically, he's the one that deals with concussions. So why are these lyrics giving me brain damage? Okay, look, in her defense, it is a love album for Travis Kelce, right? So I think she said in an interview that she was going to write this album in a way that he would understand. I laughed. And then I felt really bad. I felt really bad. Then I laughed again. You've also dated aristocrats, British aristocrats. You've dated musicians, you've dated athletes, and some of these relationships have only lasted for 3 months, yet you've written such sophisticated love songs about them. Now, I don't really want to judge her if I kind of have no basis for my argument here. So here's my own take, my opinion, my theory. She's running out of things to say. Not every album has to be a love album. You know, you're a billionaire with a private jet. Write about that. The existential crisis of being so rich that you could kind of buy out Kanye and still have money left over. What is it like to have an economy named after you? I would love to know. Instead, we get another collection of generic love songs, and that could generally be about anyone. I mean, they kind of blur together like a beige smoothie. It was kind of giving chicken, unflavored and unseasoned chicken. Invisible String made us believe in the red strings of love. Lover felt like reading someone's diary. And now the songs in The Life of a Showgirl feels like it's a really bad Hallmark card, but the Hallmark card, instead of costing like the typical $2 to $4, it costs $15.99 on iTunes. Okay, so before we even get to the album, I want to talk about the promotional rollout that she did. This is peak irony. Taylor Swift once famously said, I think it was last year, she went on Tumblr to say that you deserve to own the art that you create. And this was in response to her former label, Big Machine label group, selling her master rights to her songs to the Scooter Braun guy, like the music producer famous man. And it's such a beautiful sentiment, because she's essentially saying that creatives should have the right to over their art, the right to protect themselves from, you know, AI or whoever kind of copying their art or reforming or using their art to create fake art. It was a very like pro artist take, like, you know, it's very support the creatives. So, you know, imagine my surprise when the promotional videos for this album, you know, the ones with the zoom close-up shot where the hanger has literally disappeared. You can literally see the hanger disappearing, and then there's like writings that are just kind of, you know, spelled incorrectly, like the incline instead of incline on the treadmill. All of it appears to be made with AI. The call is coming from inside the house, Taylor. And here's what happened. Fans started doing what they do best. Now, Taylor Swift has been known for her Easter eggs, okay? In her promotional content, in a lot of her album drops, a lot of the videos that she does to promote her new album, there's Easter eggs, and she's done this pretty well in the past. When they started noticing some of these inconsistencies, it was just like weird. Like the treadmill was saying like mop, suop. There was a notebook with like very gibberish lettering that kind of looked like someone went on ChatGPT and typed, "Make it look like writing, but don't actually write anything." And a squirrel that kind of transforms into a chipmunk. And I think the sad part is that this is the same woman who was like, artists deserve to own their art, but you're using the same AI that takes the art from these artists to train its models, and they didn't have consent. They didn't give consent to have their art stolen from them, and this is being used to promote your album. Of course, no one from her team actually said or confirmed anything. The videos just got taken down from YouTube. Quite subtle. Very nothing to see here, folks. I feel like Taylor couldn't really expect her fans to not have noticed this, because some people are literally out there like analyzing her grocery receipts to find hidden messages. So how could you expect them to just look over this one? Just doesn't make any sense. I think genuinely the funniest part of this album is talking about the trolls and the memes. She's got this team of lawyers, PR people. She could literally, I feel like she could buy out Instagram and TikTok. I understand that online, people can be really mean, Taylor. And I hope you don't take this video as something mean. I'm genuinely not trying to be mean, but I feel like I should be able to constructively criticize someone that I've loved as an artist in the past. Take a step back and really think about your art, think about revamping and like reshaping, and just come back stronger. This album kind of feels a little rushed. It feels like putting something out there just to stay relevant, which I understand, Taylor. I completely get it. You need to keep the corporate wheel turning. You're Taylor Swift. She could get away with like taking 5 years off, and I think people would still really love her when she comes back, because she's been such an integral part of a lot of people's childhood, and their music in a lot of people's childhood. It actually felt like in the past some of her music did have a little bit of effort put in, but this feels very effortless, and that's not in a good way. Apart from the AI, I think the rest of the production has been done really well. Like the album cover looks amazing. The clothing that she's dressed in and all that, it does look really visually appealing, and I feel like maybe when the music videos are gonna be out, if they're not AI generated, will be shot really well. I think there are some really good songs in there. The lyrics come in and it's like, no. I think the melody does sometimes, become unmelodic. Like for one of the songs with the Sabrina Carpenter, me and my cousin kind of noticed that there was like a key change, like a change in key when it's Sabrina's turn after Taylor, and I thought that was a bit weird. It just didn't sound cohesive. But I'm not a music expert. Who knows? Maybe that's just a really bad take. I think Taylor Swift is someone who has had one of the most impressive discographies in the 2010s, especially in the pop genre. We've watched her grow from becoming this like country teen to like this amazing pop princess, and I think that's why this this album has been so jarring for us, is because we are seeing this weird decline in progress, and we're so confused. It just doesn't match her life experience, it feels like. Here's the bottom line. I think it's okay as fans if we constructively criticize the artists that we love, because that's how they improve their art, that's how they make better albums, and that's how we get better songs. There's always gonna be people that are like, oh, I've never liked her, she was bad from the last 10 years, and that's okay. They can have their own opinions. I think for me, Taylor Swift herself has set the bar so high that anything that she produces that is kind of mediocre, it's so jarring. It is so jarring as her fan, or as her, someone who listens to her album, because she has done better, and I know that she can do better. So Taylor, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't, I think it's okay to take a break. I think you should take a break. I think you should go enjoy your love life. You're getting married, go enjoy being married. I think she needs to disappear for a bit, really hone in her craft if she wants to come back. I feel like she just needs more experiences that aren't just dating guy. Come back when you have something that is really substantial. Come back when, we can liken you to a modern day Shakespeare again. maybe. Okay, that's my take. Let me know in the comments if you agree, if you disagree, if you are going to constructively criticize my video. Your homework for this video, get a piece of paper out, and I want you to kind of constructively criticize your favorite artist or your favorite, author, your favorite poet, your favorite billionaire even, because I think there is a really big beauty in being able to separate yourself from a parasocial relationship that you may have. Even if majority of what you love about them is good, there are going to be one or two things that just doesn't sit right with you, and it's good to be able to call it out. Something that can benefit or add value to a conversation. I really enjoy making videos like this. I think there's a lesson in anything and everything, so being able to bring it back and tie it back to a lesson was really fun. So yeah, let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and subscribe.